What's up, friends? Short to the point message today, but it's two practical reasons why it will behoove you in the long run if you can make a shift from feeling jealous or resentful about when you see good things happen to other people than you, even if they're strangers, to instead feeling grateful and happy for them. And again, it might be a counterintuitive, just unnatural thing, but why it's been beneficial to steer in that direction. And again, it's going to be a pragmatic lens. If that bothers you, well, you probably feel the right way about it anyway. But otherwise, here's the idea, right? There's twofold reasons. The first being that over the longer arc of your career, and maybe not in the span of a day, maybe not in the span of a week or even a month, but over the span of years, decades perhaps even, depending if you stay in the same field, what winds up happening is in many cases, you might have an opportunity somewhere down the line to work with people who right now seem very different in access and level and reach and community, and you may be surprised. And I've seen this happen in my career several times. Been on both sides of it, where what happened was I had more experience in a newer domain that suddenly was more relevant than when someone else had more experience in. And so suddenly we were on closer to equal footing than I thought. Or I was shifting between communities. And so I came into, for example, academia with a professional game design background, and how that helped put me in conversations and situations and collaboration opportunities. But here's the point with that, right? If you are seeing what they're doing and you feel good about it and positive about it, you find a way to tap into that side of genuinely, not just faking it, not pretending to say good things, but finding a way to, even if you never told them, feeling good about it inside of yourself, to see the good things happening to them, you are far more likely to put yourself in those situations and to find a way to work with those people somewhere down the line than if you find yourself resenting it, feeling jealous about it, negative about them. And it's just a natural thing. We're going to hold ourselves back from interacting with those people. We're not going to find ways to put ourselves in that room at networking events where they're going. Even if we get in a conversation, we're going to have this very awkward, weird wall between us and them unless we're genuinely happy and kind of feeling even on the same side or the same team. But in many cases, right, we're not really against or competing each other. Even if you're small game development, big game development, whatever, if you're in academia, if you're teaching, if you're doing small business, quite often, it's not like people are doing one or the other. The whole field is improved by people doing good stuff, succeeding, thriving, getting recognition. So that's a reason to perhaps try to find it in yourself to be happy for the good things happening to them. The second is just one that I've seen as a common pattern, and this is a term you hear a lot in the business self-help community. So pardon me if this disgusts you, but it's been a term I think helpful to me. And it's this idea of a self-limiting belief or a self-limiting pattern. But what emerges, and I've seen this happen, is years it happened to me, if you start to find yourself looking at people who've succeeded by whatever criteria, and I'm not saying it's got to be materialistic or it's got to be superficial, right? So it's maybe money, maybe fame, but it also could be their connections. It could be that they're just authentically happy, seeming to be enjoying their life, their freedom that they have, the flexibility, whatever it is. If they got a gig that you had even applied for, you wished you could have got it, they got it. Well, here's the thing that happens, right? If you start to feel and really wallow in, and again, you're going to feel what you're going to feel. I'm not saying to deny it, not saying to pretend it's not there, but it's a choice about what we lean into, feed into, let ourselves spin on, versus when we can kind of acknowledge, okay, well, that's there, but I don't choose to focus on that. I don't choose to take it further that direction for its own sake. What can wind up happening is we wind up with all this negativity around that person and the situations and the things that they're going for. And what this leads us to is then leads us to steer away from, in the same way like the first example is you might steer away from collaborating with them someday. What happens if there's an opportunity, a chance comes knocking on your door, a chance to do whatever, maybe it doesn't involve them at all, but a chance that would lead you to becoming more like them in the way that you've been feeling negative about them because of their money, fame, perceived success by whatever metric, that they seem happy, that they seem like they're in a good spot, whatever the thing is that you find yourself feeling negative about them because of, if the opportunity comes up, you're not going to do it. You're going to, again, at a very deep, instinctive level, resist, hold back, pull the punches, avoid becoming like a person who, in some sense, you resent or you hate. And if instead you can look at those people and find it in yourself to really look for a way to appreciate, be thankful, grateful for that there are good things happening to somebody. And if it's not you, well then, perhaps someday you'll have your turn at it, but you're more likely to have your turn at it if, when it happens to somebody else, and again, even if they're a total stranger, maybe you'll never meet them at all in your life, if you can find a way to genuinely be excited about that, happy about that, positive about that, what's going to wind up happening in the longer arc of your lifetime is you're more likely to take the opportunities and the things that might steer you towards becoming more like that, then kind of counterproductively dragging and steering away from it. So it's a real simple tip here, a real simple thought. Comes from a combination of I'm in the self-help community, obviously some of my audiobooks and things. Oh, you know what? Speaking of which, if you're catching this video relatively soon, so like before 1 p.m. Pacific time on July 20th, so 2023, my project management video course, which is a bestseller on Udemy. I'm going this little 5-day, which I think only 3 days left, giveaway. So genuinely, you can get it completely for free. Even though it's a bestseller because it's been for sale, it's now completely for free. I've already had over 330 people take it on this offer. So check the discount code in the description if you want to check that out. Share it, pass it around to your friends. There's still, I think, up to 1,000 redemptions of that code. If we can fit those in, that'd be rad. I don't expect it to happen, but there's still plenty of room in there, so you're not taking it from somebody else. Share it to your friends, to your family, to your colleagues, which could also include, again, there's still a few days left. You catch this video while it's fresh and new. Take the video course. It's only, 4 hours or so, a little bit over that. And that can help you decide if you want to recommend it to others. This is something I have sometimes where people, they've seen my stuff, they've heard of it, they may be watching this channel, maybe you've heard me talk about it. You didn't have a chance to review it to decide, would this be a fit for my cousin's situation, my buddy's situation, my parent's situation, my coworker's situation? You can check it out for free in the description and find out from that if you want to recommend it to them. And if you check it out sooner rather than later, you can then still also send that same discount code to link them that you used. They can perhaps use it too if it's before July 20th at 1 p.m. Pacific. So knock that out. And speaking of which, even though that's when the offer ends for the giveaway, Udemy is a lifetime access thing. So as long as you get it in before that window closes, you could still watch it months from now, years from now, assuming Udemy still exists. But you're not in a rush to watch those 4 hours. You can fit it in when it makes sense for you. But if you think you ever want to check out Complete Every Project, you can actually, I think right now, CompleteEveryProject.com at the time of this video should redirect to the discount code. If it doesn't, you'll see the discount code in the description to enter. But I hope it helps you out. And anyway, so what I was saying there, I mean, the combination of the self-help community as well as obviously game development sphere, and because a lot of people I'm working with are on some sort of career track angles in life, often earlier in their paths, sometimes these overlap the things I work with them on too. It's not just programming or where the semicolons go or game design stuff. It can include these kind of bigger strategic mindset things that help us on the longer arc wind up in the kind of situations we find ourselves in, not steering away from them either towards who we're going to collaborate with someday. And you could be surprised about who you find. I've been multiple times in my life. My monitor is sitting on a book by a person who inspired me when I was probably 12, who then brought me out to DC for a think tank to work with NIH on some scientist stuff. So anyway, you could surprise yourself, but it's going to come from being grateful, excited, thankful, happy about, genuinely looking for a way to be happy about the accomplishments, the success, the accolades, the rewards, the recognition of others. It's going to help you steer and becoming more like those kind of things instead of pulling away from them. That's the thought for the day. Thanks for following along. Again, check out the course in the description if you catch this video soon. And hey, if it's already passed, if it's beyond July 20th at 1 p.m. Pacific, I'd like to think the course is still pretty affordable for the results you get. You'll see a lot of testimonials in there supporting that it's basically a steal for, I used to only work with one-on-one clients on this. It took years of training over 180 people, I think, throughout the home team projects kind of stuff. And then there's 500 games across different communities. Anyway, all this explained in the course. You'll find out. Oh, it also includes my 2 audiobooks, Self-Command and Self-Doubt, about how to stay on task, how to start new tasks that are new to you. If those would help you out, they're all included with CompleteEveryProject.com. That's it for the day. I'll quit giving it a plug. Catch you next time. Thanks for following along. Bye for now.